Great start. Great start. This is fantastic start. Welcome everybody to the Michael Talks Football channel. If you're a new rounder, welcome to the channel. So we are about now 1/3 through the way of the football season, and it's been hectic. It's been a lot of storylines, but kind of what the discussion here is today on the stream, we might get a guest on. We'll see if he's awake or not. Are we going to get new winners in La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, Prem, maybe even Liga, maybe even Eredivisie. So we're going to kind of discuss about possible new winners and overall an overview of all the leagues that's going on at the moment, not just the Premier League, not just La Liga, but all the leagues, because we got some fascinating storylines going on across the world of football. But everybody, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button and subscribe if you're a new rounder. Big up to AD744. Big up to Father Alvaro. Big up to Patrick. Big up to Sebastian. Big up to AD. Malmo won league yesterday. I did see that. That was shall we say, a very, very dodgy penalty that Malmo got in that game. And big up to Luis says, Bundesliga new winner, Mike. Alonso Cooking. We'll discuss about Xabi because everybody, we all were here, 4 months ago, 6 months ago, and we said, the time is now for Borussia Dortmund. And they bottled it. Is the time now for a new winner in the Bundesliga? Because I don't know if you guys agree. I asked this in the community page. So remember to go vote in the community page and all that good stuff. I think as of right now, Bayer Leverkusen are the best team in Europe. They're the best team. Big up to MN. Big up to Sebastian. Big up to Brandon Blanco. Salute from California. Oh, I wish I was there right now. I wish I was there with the heat. And big up to Angel says, hello, Mike. Can Leverkusen keep winning? Well, we're going to discuss about it, people. So get your thoughts in the chat, all that good stuff. Just hit the like button. That's all I ask you to do. If you just hit the like button, it helps with the algorithm and it helps with getting more viewers into the channel. And big up to Tato as well. So let's kind of discuss first about the Serie A. So not been the most entertaining of leagues, I would say, Serie A this season compared to last year. Like last year, we had some wild games. But if you look at overall from the bottom half to the top half, immediately what sticks out to me here is that Sassuolo, these guys are just big game merchants. They get up for the top teams and they play down to their competition. And somehow Empoli went away to Napoli. And I remember, guys, to go check out the shorts. Empoli went away to Napoli and won. And that was adios, Rudy Garcia. Adios, buddy. And he got sacked. And Empoli went from 19th to 17th. Beautiful sight to see. Salernitana are the bottom because they haven't won a game. They're under Filippo. Remember, you guys remember Pippo Inzaghi, fantastic striker. Maybe not the most technically gifted striker, but was just a fox in the box. He is the manager, and it's not getting better. So Salernitana are in danger. And, you know, you got to give it to the Tinkerbell, the Tinkerman, Claudio Ranieri with Cagliari. Doing a great job. I know they've had some iffy results here, but, you know, the comeback victory against Frosinone was unbelievable. They were 3-0 down and scored 4 goals in the final 15 minutes. So nothing really sticks out here. I think for a lot of Serie A viewers, this is somewhat of what everybody would predict to be like the bottom half teams. Got to give it to Genoa, newly promoted team, doing well so far. Other than that, I'm not too surprised by anything. Those are the sort of teams I would expect. Maybe Udinese, because Udinese were quite good last year, but they're just lacking a striker. And, Beto, he hasn't done anything with Everton. I mean, he's a physical striker, but he hasn't done much with Everton. No, it's not a lot to discuss here, I would say. Just, I think the biggest surprise would be Genoa in 13th, considering that they're a newly promoted team. But if we get to the top half, let me just zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Now you guys can see. So here, what's you guys' biggest takeaway so far in this area? Let me know in the chat and let me know in the comments down below. Lazio and Sarri are struggling big time this season. I think it's because of the balancing act of Champions League football, Serie A, Champions League football, Serie A. And we know Sarri. If you have a fallout with him, or if you don't really buy into his tactics, you're not going to play. And that's been the biggest problem for Lazio this season. They just can't score enough goals. I mean, they drew 0-0 with Lazio. With Roma. That Derby de Capitale was horrendous to watch. I watched about 15 minutes of it. I couldn't watch anymore. It was just not. There was no sort of patterns of play in the Derby. It just was not entertaining at all. And I've seen that a lot with Lazio. They're kind of just grinding out results. I don't really see I see Sarri ball involved with the play, but not enough of it. And the new signings like Daichi Kamada, Isaacson, who I thought was going to have a good season, Castellanos, Guendouzi got the start over the weekend. They haven't had a huge impact to what maybe we thought they would have, especially Daichi Kamada should be having a lot bigger impact because he was fantastic at Eintracht Frankfurt. Then you got to give it to Monza. I mean, they got the money. They spent it well. They did good recruiting. And Monza are having a good season. And then Bologna with Thiago Motta, they've only lost 2 games. Monza have only lost 2 games so far this season. That just, look at defensively. They've only conceded 10 goals. 10 goals from Bologna all season. I know they lost over the weekend, but they're still a good team. Then AS Roma and Jose. This is a tough one with Jose because I don't really see any positive signs with them. The only positive sign is probably Romelu and Dybala. If they didn't have those two in the team, they would be screwed. AS Roma would be screwed big time. I know Lukaku's having a little bit of resurgence right now with AS Roma, but I still will not trust that guy one bit. I will not trust him one bit in the big games. He didn't show up against Lazio, didn't show up against Inter, but Roma are a decent team. I think the goal for Jose, win the Europa League, and his contract is up, and I don't think they're going to extend his contract, AS Roma, and they're going to go into a new direction. So now let's see for AS Roma. I just see that they're going to just be top 4, and we'll go from there. That's how our AS Roma are going to go with this whole situation. And then we got Vincenzo Italiano and Fiorentina. They're another team where they create all the chances. They play good football. Beltran, who I thought was going to have a good impact, nothing so far from Beltran, who I really liked at River Plate. He hasn't shown up. Yeah, Fiorentina are just an interesting team because I'm very entertained by the football they play, but it's just not sustainable if you do not get the golazos. And when you don't get the golazos, if you're Fiorentina, you're going to struggle. And they just play such an open brand of football under Italiano. They always have a different lineup. Always a different starting lineup. You see those 3 losses. They had that 1-0 loss to Juventus. And we're going to discuss about Juventus soon because people can laugh at Juventus and all the cases they've had. They're second place and look how they're doing. Atalanta, similar thing. We all associate Gasperini ball as high octane, pressing. If you watch the game they had against Inter, I think it was about 2 match days ago, or no, it was the previous match day before this weekend. Atalanta play they're playing some quite physical football in a sense where it's not beautiful, counter-attacking, and they just make life difficult. They make life difficult. That's not what we associate with Atalanta. We associate the Josip Ilic and these guys just balling out. And there's 2 number 10s and they're creating and they're overflowing with pressing, always attacking. That's not Atalanta anymore, especially against the big teams. They're just going to sit back and say, hey, you attack us. Now, they don't have they have Europa League football, excuse me. they're just going about their business. Can Atalanta get top four? 100%. But do they have a striker where you're like, okay, if they're in a difficult situation, can they get out of themselves? I would still see it. Then they got Napoli. So Napoli are in a difficult situation here, people. Now I can zoom into the top four because we've kind of discussed about everybody else. Napoli are in a tough situation here. Rudy Garcia is gone. All right, he should be gone at least. They're now having discussions with Igor Tudor, the former Marseille, former Hellas Verona manager. My only problem with that hiring is, and Uncle Sharma made a great point on one of the shorts, is you're going to go from 4-3-3 with Spalletti, then Rudy Garcia, who had absolutely no clue what he's doing, and he getting sacked by Ronaldo Al Nassr. And now you're going to go to a manager who's mostly played a 3-4-3 formation. So who the heck is going to be the two center midfielders? Who's going to be the two wingbacks? Is it going to be Oliveira or Mario Rui and then Di Lorenzo on the other side? That's my biggest question. And apparently, they just want to do it for 1 year. De Laurentiis is doing some movie because he is a movie director. If you guys didn't know that about De Laurentiis, I don't know what Napoli are doing right now. I think they're going to go. They're slowly going downhill. People, once Osimhen is gone, he's leaving in the summer, maybe even the winter. Osimhen, he's gone. Adios. So Napoli fans cherish it because I don't know what your TikTok page was doing earlier this season with that horrendous post. But Napoli, they've just been. I just have not seen anything positive for them. They have been great away. I think they've won like 4 straight away games. I can't even remember the last time they beat a team at home, at their home ground, which is always a difficult venue to go to. Now they're losing to freaking Empoli, who are 19th. They're drawing with Union Berlin, who were losing 11 games in a row. Now, okay, people can say no Osimhen. They still got Kivara. They still got Raspadori, Politano, Simeone. They even got Lindstrom who can come off the bench. I haven't seen much of Lindstrom. I think quality player. We haven't seen enough of him. So, Napoli I don't know with Napoli, man. I feel like they could miss out on top 4 if they make the wrong hiring. Then Napoli could be screwed of not getting Champions League football next season. For how good they played last year and compared to this year, totally different team. Totally different team. So let's see. Yeah, look, I agree, Vahid. I mean, everybody knew that Rudy Garcia hiring was so strange. Like, okay, you didn't get Thiago Motta because that was apparently what De Laurentiis wanted first. He wanted to get Thiago Motta. Okay, there's better managers in freaking Denmark and Sweden than Rudy Garcia, who just got sacked at Al Nassr. Come on, De Laurentiis. You know ball. You can do a lot better with that hiring. But now he's going to pay his crimes, and now I don't know what Napoli are doing. So let's see what sort of direction they're going to go into, especially after the international break. They got some tough games coming up as well. Then we move on to Milan. Now, Milan could be the next team where is okay, people. Is Pioli under the hot seat? They got the victory over PSG in the Champions League, a massive victory. But look at the recent form in the Serie A. No wins in 4, drawing with Napoli when they were 2-0 up, drawing with Lecce when they were 2-0 up. They should have lost that game, in all honesty, to Lecce. That was a screamer of a goal in the last minute. And then they lost to Udinese at home. Like, you cannot have... Okay, Leao got injured, what was it, the first 10 minutes against Lecce. You were still 2-0 up without him. See out the game. I know they have a lot of injuries in defense and this sort of stuff. Pioli is in a very difficult situation for him that he's got to just stick with one lineup. And then if you get a lot of injuries, because he's been tinkering too much with the midfield. Okay, I'll go with Krunic one day. Oh no, then I'll go with Reinders Musa one day. Oh no, then I'll go with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Then I'll bring in Pobega. Pioli, you got to stick with one midfield, buddy. Okay, in the Champions League and Coppa Italia, you can rotate a little bit more. Serie A, that is your bread and butter. You must have a starting 11 for every single game, unless the player really has an injury or picks up a knock. That's the only way you would change. So I fear for Milan in a sense that they could be a little bit in danger. I'm not saying that they're going to miss out on top 4 or anything like that, but I think the goal this season, they did spend some money, especially after Torano left, is You got to make Champions League football, and you got to compete for the league. You got to. After, what did they finish last year? Third or fourth? Yeah, third or fourth, somewhere around there. I would expect a lot better from Pioli's side. Still early in the season, but Giroud keeps on scoring. Somehow Giroud keeps on scoring, and then I think he got the red card over the weekend as well against Lecce. But nobody, and I mean absolute, I don't see this team getting talked a lot anywhere really, except for Gab and Jules' show, is Allegri ball and Juventus. They've conceded 7 goals. Oh, this guy Allegri, man. I tried to tune in. I think it was the Torino derby a couple weekends ago. Bro, like the football was not good. But guess what? Allegri couldn't care less. He could give zero shits about what's going on with the style of football. It's all about results. And they keep on doing it. They keep on getting results. Defensively, they are very strong. They get the one goal. Finito. The game is done. You have absolutely no chance if you're then the opponents going up against Juventus. Now, I think the first game after the international break is Derby d'Italia, Inter versus Juventus. Woo. Now, if I had to choose a winner, I would still go with Inter. I think Inter are the better team. They can play a multitude of ways. With Juventus, they do create a lot more chances, and I'm liking the way that McKinney is playing very well for them. Timothy Weah and these sort of teams. It's just like we know what Juventus are going to play and how they're going to set up again with Allegri. We just know it. Using the two wing backs, getting crosses in, Chiesa or Vlahovic or even Moise Kean getting involved with the goals, Milik as well. Is this sustainable for the whole season? Yeah, possibly, but it's not entertaining to watch. But I think the main thing for Juventus is they just got to get Champions League football after, embarrassing going into the Conference League and then saying, nah, we don't want Conference League. Fiorentina, you take it. Just shows you the standards that Juventus were at last season. This season, it has to improve. Oh, no, last season, excuse me. Yeah, they had the points deduction. Totally forgot about the points deduction. So, yeah, it's not entertaining, but Juventus are getting the job done. And I think their fans, okay, they might not be entertained by the football, but as long as the results are happening, they'll keep up with it. Remember last season, almost all of them wanted Allegri sacked. Still here, still doing his job very well. And then the last team is Inter. And for me, I think Inter are a top 5 team in the world. Did you see that DiMarco goal, by the way, yesterday? That was ridiculous. And he meant it as well. The Mudryk one didn't mean it. DiMarco meant that shot into the top right corner. Oh, it was a golazo from DiMarco. And Inter just keep on rolling on. Look at that. Plus 23 goal difference. They are just unstoppable. Lautaro is unstoppable this season. I really just like the way Inter play. Defensively can be sound. Attacking-wise, they have a lot of options. Thuram has been an amazing signing, one of the best signings of the summer, especially on a free. You kind of have to say that Inzaghi, he's done a marvelous job. But the main goal is you can play so well this season. You can score all these goals. You can concede the least amount of goals in the league. You have to win the Scudetto. It would be the first time for Inzaghi. And I think it would be a great achievement for them, and especially with players like Acerbi, Pavard, who's just coming in this season, Marcus Thuram, who I don't think Marcus Thuram has ever won silverware in his career. Would be amazing to see for Inter, and especially just like Inzaghi he should have won it 2 seasons ago, but they bottled it. And then obviously Milan won the Serie A. I think this would be a great achievement, but you cannot get rid of the old lady in Juventus. They are still there, and they are not going to give up easily. But after the international break, I think they're playing against each other, if memory serves me right. Yeah, look at Inter's next 3 games, people. Juventus away, Benfica away, Napoli away. That is crazy schedule. So that game on Sunday, 9:45 here in Finland, that is going to be a tasty one to watch. So, people, let me know your thoughts in the comments and in the chat. Who do you think is going to win Serie A? Is it going to be Inter, Juventus? Can somehow Milan get back into the race? Let me know where Napoli are going to finish this season and who's going to be the surprise team in the Serie A. Is it going to be Bologna? Can even Fiorentina finish in the top 4? Let me know your thoughts in the chat and the comments down below. Big up to Alexander says, if Juventus got Thuram, I would be heartbroken. Yeah, they will not use him wisely. They will not use him wisely. Big up Fahid says he is on thin ice, but it depends on the Champions League. So not now for Allegri. I mean, for Pioli. Now Pioli is waiting for Zlatan. Then it's over for Serie A. We're going to wait for that again. Big up to Father Arvalo says that Atalanta Juve game last month was a perfect representation of Allegri ball. The perfect representation is what I saw between Atalanta and Inter. Because I was like, man, Gasperini has turned into a heel, like in WWE. He's just turned into a bad character. We all love Gasperini. All the neutrals. We love the football they play. Highly entertaining. They're making quarterfinals. Should have made it to the semifinals of the Champions League. And now they just play physical, trying to break your legs football. It's not Gasperini ball, but you have to evolve as a manager. And he said, all right, I'm done with that era. We're going into a new era. You know, before we had John Cena, Thugonomics. Then he said, nah, I'm done with that gimmick. Let me go for a new one. But I believe in Inzaghi ball. I do as well. Big up to Brandon says, I had a KSI reaction. Yes, to Marco. Inter should win it? Yeah, I think they should. Big up M. Tormizi. How you doing, brother? How you doing? Big up to Mohammed says, Conte for Milan. He'll get them going. Okay. I actually don't want to see that at all. Because you give Conte Leao. Nah, I don't want to see it. Although he could probably turn him into a new Hazard. Remember, Hazard was cooking. Yeah, it's in the description down below. Although I don't really use the Discord, Brandon, but follow me on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok as well. All of that is in the description down below. So let's get to the next league, people. Let's get to the next league. I think we got to save the two best ones for last because I think they're the highly most entertaining ones. But let's move on to the Bundesliga. Remember, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button. How many likes are we on? We're only on 20 likes. You guys are a bunch of frauds. You are all frauds. You better be hitting the like button and subscribing if you're a new rounder. Let's now get to the Bundesliga because Union. Oh no. Union. Yeah, they screwed. What is that? 6 losses in a row in the Bundesliga? Oh, yeah. I don't think they've won a game since August. I think I read this somewhere. Was it August 28th, I believe it was the last Union Berlin win? August 28th, people. That's the last win. They got spanked over the weekend by Leverkusen. Spanked. They didn't even have a chance in that game. The saving grace for them is that they're 3 points behind 14th, but their goal difference keeps getting worse and worse and worse. This is great. I cannot remember the last time I saw a Champions League team have this bad of a season in their league. I cannot remember the last time. Remember, I think I dropped the shorts video end of August saying from Division 2 to UCL football. Now we're going to go from UCL football back to Division 2. That's what's going to happen with this Union Berlin story if they don't get their act together. And I'm honestly shocked because they've made a lot of good signings like Gosens, Bonucci, Aronson, Juranovic back in last winter. So I'm really shocked by this downfall for Union Berlin. Can they rectify it? Probably, because there's not a lot of good teams in the Bundesliga. Like you look at the likes of Heidenheim, Darmstadt, Bochum. I would expect a lot better from Mainz and Köln. I think they will sort of bounce back during this Bundesliga season. But Union Berlin got to get their act together. Otherwise, relegation is possible. Now, I know it's beautiful. They're in the Champions League. It's an amazing achievement. They have unbelievable fan support. But you cannot be making to the Champions League and then get relegated in the same season. You cannot be doing that if you're Union Berlin. They've had an amazing rise, people. We all know the story about Union Berlin. But now you got to maintain yourself. You cannot go back down to the Bundesliga 2 and join Hertha. Don't do that. Stay in the Bundesliga. Tell Hertha to get their act together and get promoted. Not you guys. I think they will sort of rectify it. I think they'll be fine. But we got to see. They're conceding a lot of goals recently. Other than that, you got to give a lot of credit to Heidenheim, the newly promoted team who are from I could not even actually tell you where Heidenheim are in Germany. So if my Germans can help me out here, I don't know where Heidenheim are. Actually, I remember looking at it at the beginning of the season, but I cannot remember. But their stadium is so small. They have some good players. Oh, it was the left-footed player who's got the beard. I cannot remember his name. He scored the second goal for Heidenheim against Bayern. Just like this team they're very they play good football, but I don't know if it's sustainable. But they gave a great game to Bayern. They were 2-0 down, fought back. But if I had to say another team that would join probably Union Berlin, it's probably Darmstadt or Bochum. One of those two teams. I still trust in Mainz and Köln because they have experience in their team, experienced managers, even though Svensson is gone from Mainz nowadays. I will feel like those two teams will bounce back. It's just about Union Berlin. I'm a little bit worried for Union. I can't lie. I'm a little bit worried for Union Berlin. Then when it comes through the other teams here, Borussia Mönchengladbach are actually a surprise because the last couple of seasons they've been kind of fading and fading and fading, and then when you're losing players like Marcus Thuram, you thought, not looking good for Mönchengladbach. Obviously, Jan Sommer left last winter. You're like, are the wheels falling off? They've maintained so far a good start, ninth place after 11 games, not bad. Augsburg, not bad, but these like Augsburg are just they're the Burnley of the Bundesliga. They're just a mid-table team, and they will consistently stay there no matter what. Then Eintracht Frankfurt, who I got to see last Thursday here in Finland, exciting team. Not going to concede a lot of goals. By the way, keep an eye on the Pacho, the Ecuadorian center back. He is quality, by the way. He is a quality defender. Is Pacho. He was at Antwerp last season. Now he made the move to Eintracht Frankfurt. Unbelievable player, by the way. Hoffenheim, another team where they get off to good starts, they kind of fade away. And then we get to the top 5 of the Bundesliga. Now, this is where the discussion begins. And there is one surprising team that I had given no shot of them making it this far in the Bundesliga this early. So let's discuss. Will Terzic get sacked this season? They've always had slow starts, Dortmund. Same thing like last season. Had a slow start, and then the second half of the season, they were unbelievable until the last game. It's a difficult one with Dortmund because I feel like they have a lot of good players, but are they using them well? Like I look at like Adeyemi, Donja Malen. Donja Malen is having a good season, but like Adeyemi, is that guy really like a winger, or is he more of a striker? Because at RB Salzburg, he was mostly playing as a striker. That's my biggest problem with Terzic is I don't think he knows his best 11. I don't think he knows his best tactics, and they got outplayed by Stuttgart. Stuttgart absolutely destroyed them over the weekend. They played well against Newcastle in the 2 games. It's just like you cannot read this Dortmund team. They're going to have a good game, bad game, good game, bad game. They're not far behind for obviously the 4th place in RB Leipzig. They're only 2 points. They're already 10 points behind Bayer Leverkusen, which is unbelievable. So I wouldn't be in panic station yet with Dortmund because they've so much talent, and I don't really see like young talent emerging from this team. I do like Giovanni Reina. I obviously I'm a little bit biased towards him because I think he's a baller, but I don't think he's getting a fair shout. And if I was Giovanni Reina, I would be asking for a move in January. Like you're not getting enough minutes. You're not really being utilized as a creative number 10 that you are. If I'm Giovanni Reina, you got to get a move. And let's see then. Dortmund say, all right, Giovanni Reina, you move, and then we'll bring back Sancho, although Sancho's contract is ridiculous. So I don't think Dortmund can really do that. Then you got RB Leipzig. Look, Marco Rose is doing a good job. They've had some iffy results, but Xavi Simons is a goddamn baller. He is so... I talked about him last season when he was with PSV, and I said, no, Xavi Simons, this guy, he's taken that next step, the next step. I'm glad he got away from PSG for at least another season because if he stayed at PSG, I don't think he would have a good season again. I don't think he would get a fair shot. I don't think he would get fair opportunities. Now you see Xavi Simons, the guy is cooking. The last 2 goals he scored against Cervana Svesta and Freiburg over the weekend, golazos. And you just see a confidence building within him, and you see a player that over time, more and more, is going to keep getting better and better. And we don't really see a lot of young Dutch ballers anymore, but Xavi Simons, he's definitely one. We all give praise to like Musiala, we give praise to Wirtz, Pedri, but Xavi Simons is starting to emerge in that core of young talents who can become a very, very good player. And he keeps performing. And when you got players like Lois Openda and you got players like Benjamin Sheshko. It's good. Carvalho, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything. Alexander, by the way, he hasn't played a lot of minutes. It's tough for him, man. I don't think he's getting a fair shot. But RB Leipzig are a good team, but I just feel like they're just inconsistent as well. Like I think their last 5 games, they've only lost 1 game, which is not too bad, but it could be a lot better. Now, the most surprising team by far in the Bundesliga this season, I know everybody will talk about Bayer Leverkusen, is Stuttgart. These guys have been fighting tooth and nail like it's the movie 300, surviving in the Bundesliga. They have always I can't even remember, probably like 3 seasons, 4 seasons, maybe 2 seasons, relegation battle. Now, Stuttgart are in 3rd place, and only because they lost those 2 games, because Gerassi wasn't on the field, and they missed, I think, penalty in both of those games as well, if I'm not mistaken. Seru Girassi. Now, if you've followed him for like the last couple of seasons, I don't think he ever reached double figures in goals in a season. Girassi, he never reached that height. He's already at 15 goals this season. This is one of the more remarkable rises I have seen from a player where, okay, decent, but now, it's ridiculous. If he wasn't injured, he'd still probably be top goals. He could probably be having 17, 18, 19 goals already. And Stuttgart, even though they sold Endo, they're playing good football. They are playing very good football, Stuttgart. They dominated Dortmund. They should have beaten Hoffenheim. I think they missed a penalty in that game. Stuttgart are playing great, and it's wonderful to see. I remember when they won the Bundesliga. Was it 04, 05, or 05, 06 season? I can't remember exactly. They were kind of outsiders during that season as well. They weren't really expected, but they won the Bundesliga. Now, they're not going to win the Bundesliga. I just think like Gerassi gave an interview as well to ESPN FC, and he's kind of talking about, maybe we'll move in the January transfer window. If Gerassi is gone, I mean, you're going to have to rely on Undaf. So if you want to do that, Stuttgart, go ahead. But as long as Gerassi is there, Stuttgart are going to be fine. Now, if they made Champions League football, that might be one of the best achievements this season across Europe. You know, we talk about Girona, we talk about Leverkusen, we could talk about whoever. If Stuttgart make Champions League football, amazing. Absolutely amazing. 06, 07 season, bigger baby. It would be amazing. So let's see if Stuttgart can do it. They got RB Leipzig and Dortmund to deal with, but if Girassi stays the whole season, it is possible. It is possible. And then we got the top 2 and the class above the rest in the Bundesliga. Remember, everybody, hit the like button. How many likes are we on? Are you guys performing like Dortmund in front of goal? Now we're at 31 likes. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. It's all about the algorithm, people. I don't want to ask you for super chats. Just hit the like button. It's the free stuff that counts the most to me. Top 2, huh? Okay. Before I get into the discussion about this title race, shall we discuss it right now? Put a 1 if you think Leverkusen can win it, or put a 2 if you think this is just all a hoax and it's just fake and Bayern will eventually win it. Let me know your thoughts. Like, do we honestly believe, because I said it earlier in the stream, I think Bayer Leverkusen, as of right now, heading into this international break, are the best team in Europe. Yeah, you heard it here first. They are the best team in Europe. The way they play football, okay, people can say, Bundesliga, Farmers League. Okay. Didn't Holland come from that league and look what he's doing to the Premier League? Didn't Pep come from that league and look what he's doing to the Premier League? You got to give a lot of credit to this Bayer Leverkusen team, especially the most underrated player in all of Europe, Grimaldo. Now, he's not playing as a left back anymore. The guy's playing like a left CM, left wing, basically. He doesn't have to defend anymore because that was kind of his liability at Benfica, was defensively not good enough. Now, he's just basically a playmaker. You see the goals he's scoring, free kicks, long range. That left foot is a wand. And now, finally, at the age of 28, gets his first call up to the Spanish national team. So congrats to Grimaldo. Should have gotten it earlier, but because he probably played in Benfica and none of the Spanish FA said, we got a Spanish player playing in Benfica. Who cares? Now that he's cooking with Xabi Alonso and they got the connections, they're like, no. This guy's a baller. So must say that Grimaldo, I think, is the most underrated player in Europe. And then you look at Victor Boniface, Wirtz, Hoffman, Xhaka. They just Jonathan Tah. All I need to see is my Finnish guy, Lukas Radecki, lift the Bund. Oh my God, that would be scenes of absolute joy. But I still don't believe it. I don't believe it. Until it gets to match day 20 and they have a 5-point lead, I will start believing. Now it's too early to call. Way too early to call. They're playing fantastic. They're gonna miss some players during the January because of the AFCON, of course. They don't have any Asian players. So it's only gonna be the AFCON that they're gonna miss some players. But yeah, Leverkusen, I think they got the game against Bayern at home in February, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was February. They have the home game against Bayern, but if they can keep this up, hey, I mean, people, what do you guys think? Do you think Leverkusen can actually do this? Because right now they look unbeatable. Then you got Bayern. Now, this is Bayern Munich. They've won 11 in a row, people. Then, do you think we're going to doubt this team? Even though Tuchel, we had some question marks at the start of the season. Look at the way Harry Kane is playing. Is Harry Kane the most informed player in the world right now, people? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because what he's doing, he's already surpassed what Fulkrug did last year. It's been 11 games. He has more goals than Niklas Fulkrug, who was the top goal scorer last season with 16. He's got 17. 17 already. Harry Kane is just, he's just unstoppable. I tried to upload the shorts, by the way, people. You probably saw that I had a Harry Kane shorts. And copyrights, they got me. So then I was like, I tried a second time. I edited a little bit more. They got copyrighted again. So I was like, I'm done with it. So I don't really have a lot of question marks when it comes to Bayern. I just feel like, yeah, there's a little bit of a lack of balance in the team when it comes to the midfield. They could probably sort that on the January transfer window. Still have a lot of questions about them defensively. Way too open. How are you allowing 2 goals against Heidenheim? I know Sauter started, who hasn't started like in a gazillion months because, the guy's not good enough. But I still have questions when it comes to Bayern defensively. But the way Leroy Sané is playing, Kane, Musiala when he gets back healthy, they're just such a good team. I honestly, bring on February already. We want to see Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. That game back at the Allianz Arena when we did the watch song on that Friday night game was so unbelievable. The football was amazing. We need to just get to February and get to Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich. I might have to go to Germany to watch that game. I might have to go because that could be a blockbuster. Hopefully Leverkusen can keep it up until then. By the way, there was a stat. Wait, I'm going to see if I can get it up for here. Because it was a good stat that I saw about how good of a start Leverkusen have had this season. Where was it at? Let me see if I can find it here. Ooh. Okay, yeah, here we go. Good old Mia San Mia. Let me get it up. Big up everybody. Remember, let's see here. So this is the crazy stat that I saw. I'll bring it up here. With 29 points, Bayern are now the best second-place team in Bundesliga history after 11 match days. Meanwhile, with 31 points, Bayer Leverkusen have made the best start in history at this stage of the season, equaling Pep Guardiola's Bayern in the 15-16 season. That's great. That just shows you. I know, I still don't believe Leverkusen are going to win the league. I don't believe it. But you have to give. Xabi Alonso has been in the job less than a year. Do we understand that? He's been in the job less than a year. And he's cooking like this. Cooking with former Southampton players like Nathan Tella. Nah. Xabi Alonso, man. He is going to be some manager. And the football he plays, it's not like, oh, we just keep possession because of possession. There's a purpose to it. And then you see the individual quality that just Victor with his link-up play, Florian Wirtz with his close dribbling in the box. Then you see Grimaldo who just scores golazo. It's unbelievable. But Bayern are still winning this league. Until it gets to an 8-point lead, then I'll be like, all right, cool. Then we got a title race. Now, no, I'm sorry. It's 2 points. They've had their best start ever. Both teams haven't lost a game. And I think Leverkusen still, let's see. Okay. So Leverkusen, when they come back from the break, they play Werder Bremen. Oh, they play Werder Bremen away, Dortmund, Stuttgart away. Damn. Actually, I think Stuttgart have a crazy schedule when they come back. Let me make sure about that. They got Eintracht Frankfurt away, Werder Bremen, Leverkusen, Bayern. Oh boy, Stuttgart. So either Stuttgart are going to be in the top four or they're going to be adios. Adios. They play both of the title contenders back-to-back weekends. If Girassi scores a hat-trick against either one of those teams, big up to Massey, one of the Bayern fans in the house. The biggest thing is he made them believe they can win against anybody. See, I don't care really if Bayer Leverkusen don't win the Bundesliga. If they make second place, unbelievable achievement. Now, if they win the DFB Pokal or the Europa League for Leverkusen, now some people might say, Leverkusen, what you mean? They haven't won any trophy since 1990, 1991. They had the quadruple in their hands or treble in their hands and won no trophies when they lost to the final against Real Madrid when Zidane did that half volley. That's why they're called Leverkusen, because they never do it. But they have a winner. They have a brilliant manager. And maybe it is time for Leverkusen. But it's too early to call. It's 1/3 of the season. That's why I'm not going to be like, oh my God, yes, new winner in the Bundesliga. No. We all learned the lesson the hard way last season from Borussia Dortmund and what they were doing at the end of the last season. But now it could be a bit different. So let's now move to España. Let's move to España, unless you guys are frauding it up in the like count. We have hit 35 likes. Big up to everybody. Big up to Big up to Misha for being a member for 17 months. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. I don't think I've even been in a relationship that long with anybody. Well, we move on. All right. So La Liga. Yeah, Almeria are done. So, by the way, there's two teams now in Europe that haven't won a game. That's Almeria and that's Salernitana from Serie A. I think those are the only two teams when you talk about the top four leagues that haven't won a game. And they're garbage. Like they are hot garbage. Otherwise, the biggest surprise is Celta, even though they have been done dirty by VAR many times during this season. I'm surprised by Mallorca. Cadiz will never get relegated because they are the Burnley of Spain. They can look trash one day and they will just somehow get a result against one of the big teams. And then, Sevilla have had 5 straight draws. By the way, Betis cooked them yesterday. Betis should have won that game until, if I recommend a goal watching, it is Rakitic. Stop what you're doing right now. You can just press pause on this stream and go check out Rakitic's goal. Golazo. I mean, we saw some golazos this weekend. People tell me football is done. Where's the quality? Look at some of the goals we saw over the weekend, people. Unbelievable. But Sevilla, they're just going to go down in the Europa League. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to, right off the La Liga season, they're just going to hope for maybe like a 7th, 8th place finish. That's what Sevilla do. And I don't really think Alonso is the right manager for them, if I'm perfectly honest. But Villarreal, they got to perform, bro. I don't know what's happened to Villarreal this season. They've conceded a lot of goals, but you have quality like Gerard Moreno, you have Sorloth. There's so many good players on the Villarreal team, but they concede too early. They concede way too many goals, and that's going to be their big flaw during this season. Very happy for Valencia. Valencia have been surprising to me because they kind of relying more on their youngsters. And it's kind of working out, even though Peter Lim is the worst owner in football. Yes, I said it. Peter Lim and Sheffield Wednesday's owner, who is an absolute bastard. I'll say it right here. He's a bastard for asking his fans to pay him to leave the club. Get out of the club. Peter Lim is definitely one of the worst owners. And they're having a good season. I haven't seen much of Las Palmas. I think I've watched one of their games. Decent football. Don't score enough goals, as is evident right there with only 11 goals. But yeah, I got to give it up to Valencia, man. They've been a lot better this year compared to last year, where we were talking about, are they going to actually get relegated? And that stadium would have burned down if they got relegated. Then we got the top 7, right? We got the top 7 here. So let me know, people in the chat. Who do you think? Do you think Villarreal are in danger to get relegated this season? Do you think Valencia can somehow make it into top 7? But the top 7 in La Liga, it's looking highly entertaining here. Highly entertaining. Now, Mateo is giving me some news, and I trust Mateo because he is a Real Betis fan, and he is in Spain. He says, we're in talks to sign De Gea, Michael. That would be some team, you know. That would be some team. You see, Isco, Disco, Fekir, Bellerin, De Gea. Hey, Real Betis might be cooking something this year, man. They might be cooking. They got the ex All Stars from like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and they said we're gonna run it back and we're gonna try and win La Liga or make it into Champions League football. But yeah, Real Betis, like Blue say, talk about Isco, man. Isco is, you know, when we talk about, oh man, this player is done. It's funny though. Sevilla let him go. And did you see what he was doing to Sevilla yesterday? Ooh, he's been cooking this season, Isco. Just the flair, the one touch. It's just like when you just see technical ballers like Isco, you're just like, they're still in the game. They're just not utilized well. But Isco, he's just having fun, people. He's like, I've done so much in my career. I've won Champions Leagues. I've won La Ligas. What else do I need to do? What else does Isco need to prove? He's just like, I'm going to go out there every weekend. I'm just going to ball out. And that's exactly what Isco does. And Real Betis are an entertaining team to watch. Highly entertaining. Even got Jose Perez, obviously Leicester City legend. Nice to see. Do I believe they can make Champions League football? I mean, they're 7 points behind Atletico. I just think that top four for La Liga this season, it is very daunting for any team to kind of squeeze their way into that top four. Very daunting. Real Sociedad, we all know. These guys are ballers. Absolute ballers. Ballers, man. Zubimendi, Bryce Mendes, Merino, Kubo, Rizabal. Love this team. Le Normand. So Real Sociedad, we know how good they are. And the biggest key for them is just scoring enough goals. They got 3 over the weekend, but they don't do it enough. That's the biggest issue. If Real Sociedad could consistently score, they would be a top 4 team again this year. But you just see the competitiveness of La Liga. That's what I'm telling you. I tweeted this out. La Liga is the most entertaining league this season. As of now, it has been the most entertaining. Okay, you can say, Michael, look at the big game yesterday in Stamford Bridge. Okay, cool. We're going to discuss about the Premier League. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Watch La Liga. Watch the Atletico Villarreal. Look at the goal that Villarreal scored. Play it from the back, through the goalkeeper. Oh, it was just how they broke down Atleti's press. Just unbelievable. So you have to watch La Liga to understand. Bilbao, consistent, decent team. I think I've only watched one of their games, so I can't give a big analysis about Athletic Bilbao. I haven't watched enough of their games. But they're going to play, I think Girona is the first game back for them after the international break. Definitely, I've been watching so much Girona. I'm like, I got to continue doing it. Got to continue doing it for sure. Big up Samasi. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel, Samasi. Big up to you. Big up to you. One of the loyal Bayern fans, even though she was telling me Tuchel is a fraud. I don't hear that shout anymore. But big up Samasi for becoming a member of the channel. So yeah, Bilbao are a good team. Are they good enough for top 4? No. I can't remember the last time Bilbao actually have been in European football. It's been a while since they've been in Europa League or Conference League. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen them for a while. All right, so now we get to the top 4. Now this top 4 race, this title race is going to be intriguing. Very intriguing. I think Atleti can win the league. Griezmann is another player where you say best player in the world right now. Yes, Antoine Griezmann. The guy is simply balling out. The only game where he didn't ball out was Las Palmas away when he got substituted. Was it 70th minute, 65th minute, somewhere around there? I think if Atleti can be consistent, look at the football they're playing. Okay, it's not possession, but in transition, getting crosses into the box, good combination play. Lino, Griezmann, Morata, all of these guys are cooking. Lorente cooking. Simeone, man, he might do it for a third time. Simeone wins a 3rd La Liga title. Ooh, it's going to look nice on the resume. And then people are going to have to just go, shh, oh, negative football, dinosaur football. I was like that as well. Maybe 2-3 years ago, I was like, nah, Simeone, man, I don't want to see this dinosaur football. But he is evolving as Atleti's team is evolving into a much younger team, mixed with the experience of Witzel, Aspilicueta, and these sort of guys, Koke. But if Griezmann is not playing, then I would be worried about Atleti. If Griezmann picks up any injury, and of course, hope for no injuries for Griezmann. Griezmann is just a baller, man. He's such a baller that he is just the complete nucleus for this Atleti team. And when that nucleus is broken, then Atleti are going to be broken into pieces, and you're like, no, man, I don't think they're going to survive. So let me know your thoughts, people. Can Atleti win the La Liga this season if they keep up this form? It's been now, what, 13 wins in a row at home? Something like that? I think it's somewhere around there. But Griezmann is just, he's balling out. Absolutely balling out. Deserves, yeah, agreed, Sebastian, except for that last part you said. But I agree. He deserves his flower because he's balling. Now, Barcelona are interesting. Let's discuss about Qatari football. Barca are not entertaining. I'll say that right now. Barca are not. Remember, we've been talking about, oh my God, they looking great after Real Betis 5-0, boom, boom, João Felix, oh my God, best player in the world, boom, boom. Now, looking more like Aladdin football. It's not looking good for Barca, but I think it's a long season. So you're going to go through your struggles. Lewandowski going a couple of games without a goal, but scoring 2 goals yesterday. João Felix not finding form. Lamine Yamal still very young. Rafinha, Ferran Torres, these sort of guys. I think the big key for them is when Frankie de Jong gets back healthy, then I think this team will be clicking again. They just need to find, I think, the right balance in the midfield. When that balance is fixed and they start clicking, then I think Barca have so many good individual talents like Cancelo, Araujo, Christensen, and these sort of guys. Defensively, I'm not too worried about them, but it's the lack of goal scoring that's a big issue. Like away at Shakhtar, they did nothing against Shakhtar, who have sold all their Brazilians except for this guy called Newerton, who's 18 years old, who I never heard about. Generally never heard about. You guys know I follow a lot of football. Never heard of Newerton. Thought it was Isaac Newton who was playing, not Newerton. He was cooking Barca. So I see like Barca fans, oh my God, Xavi, should he get sacked? Like right there, boom. I was about to say this. Michael, should Xavi get sacked in your opinion? No. Mosa, I ask you right now, you're going to sack a manager who won you La Liga last year. Yeah, okay, the footballs. See, I think a lot of Barca fans, and rightly so, they saw the best football probably ever from the prime Barca, even from MSN. But those guys are gone. And you have to just evolve with this team. It's still a young team. Now, obviously, you want the experienced players like Lewandowski. Felix is experienced. The guy is not young anymore. He's been in the game too long. And then I would ask you, okay, Barca fans, if you want to sack Xavi, who are you going to get? What, do you want to go get Ten Hag from Man United? Okay, maybe Marcelo Gallardo, but I don't think he wants to manage, if I'm perfectly honest, in Europe. Other than that, there's nobody. What do you want to get? Conte? Come on. So, yes, you can ask for better football, but I think it's more about, okay, you're going to go through your struggles. Xavi is still a young manager. I'm not even counting his time in Qatar. Like, you're not tested in Qatar. Come on. He had Santi Cazorla, who was just balling out against Ali Almoez. By the way, that's a real player if you didn't know. He striker for Qatar, top goal scorer in the 2019 Asian Cup. Somebody said Potter. Really? So yeah, I wouldn't be panicking about Barca, but they got to be careful because they're not the best team in Catalonia. Which is, I thought I would never say that. I thought maybe one day, maybe Espanyol would be cooking. Girona. Huh? But let's wait on Girona. Madrid, even though they don't have a striker, and I feel like now with this new sort of formation and tactical idea from Ancelotti, you saw Rodrigo and Vini. That was Jogo Bonito on Saturday night against Valencia. You see that one layoff that Rodrigo did? I said Samba football. So with Real Madrid, it's difficult. They have a lot of injuries. Even like I wish Arda Güler could just get healthy because the kid is a baller, but he needs to get healthy. Bellingham gets injured. What do? They win 5-1. Even without a striker, even with a lot of key injuries, like obviously Eder Militao and Courtois out for the season, they're still balling out. I think the key thing is here. All right, when Bellingham is healthy, how do we get Vinny, Rodrigo, and Bellingham cooking all at the same time? When those three then really connect, because mostly it's been Bellingham. Okay, he gets his tap ins and then he scores the golazo against Barcelona. Bellingham has been doing his part. Then when he's absent, Vinny and Rodrigo step up. That's just showing you the class and the quality that Madrid still possess, even with all these injuries. And for me, I really am. I'm very entertained by the football they play. I really just got to give a lot to Ancelotti. Saw some critique of him. I think it was a couple weeks ago. Was it against who was the team against? Rayo Vallecano. And everybody's like, "Oh my god, what is this football from Conte? He's got to change something." Ancelotti's cooking. He's cooking, man. One last season. He's got one last season. I don't think Madrid are going to make any signings in the winter. So if Ancelotti wins a league title with Joselu, I don't care if he doesn't start with Joselu. That's another dub onto Ancelotti's already incredible CV, and winning a league with either Kepa or Lunin as your goalkeeper. Massive props to Ancelotti. But they got to keep being consistent defensively. They look strong, even though they do give up chances. But Lunin or Kepa, they're doing their job. And then the most surprising thing, I'll get to your super chat soon, Father Alvaro, because got to discuss Girona. Yes, the small team who have the smallest stadium in La Liga, probably are the smallest team in La Liga, are top of La Liga. 11 wins. If you didn't see my shorts, people, Girona have more points after 13 match days than Prime Barca under Pep Guardiola, Prime Simeone 13-14 season when Atleti finally won La Liga, and Prime Jose Mourinho with Real Madrid, the 11-12 season where they scored like 100 and gazillion goals. Girona have more points than all those three teams. Yes, Girona. Now, let's get this straight out of the way. They are not winning La Liga. Because if you look at their next 6 games, so let's do this, people. You all right? Let's do some investigation here. We're going to be the FBI on Girona right now. Look at their next 6 games. Hey, Girona, you want to be with the big boys? We're going to give you the big boy treatment. Athletic Bilbao, Valencia, the Catalonia derby against Barca. When is that Girona derby? 10th of December. Then it got Alaves, Real Betis away, and then I think the last game was Atleti at home, December 3rd. So I'll ask you in the chat, and if you're watching our replay, at what point do you say Girona can actually challenge for the title? I said it in my shorts. If Girona, during this 6-game run here, if they pick up 4 wins, like 4 wins against these teams, now that's impressive. Then I would say, I think they're in a title race. Yeah, you heard it. They're in a title race. Now, if you actually rewatch the game against Real Madrid, for the first 10 minutes, Girona were cooking Real Madrid. They could have easily been 2-0 up. I remember Dovbyk had an absolutely free header and didn't score it. But here, they got to be good. I'm looking at that Barca game away. I'm like, you know what? If Girona play the way they are with Savio, Alex Garcia, Yanel Herrera, Dovbyk, Shankov, how the heck are they doing this with Daley Blind and Eric Garcia's center-back partnership? How? It cannot be all this wonderful. Like everybody goes through the tactics. People do a lot better job than me of explaining the tactical idea of Michel. But it's Daley Blind and Eric Garcia. Come on, people. It would be an absolute miracle. I think ESPN FC, they said they were 10,000 to 1 to win La Liga, which is more than Leicester City. I don't think it would be as impressive as Leicester because Leicester were coming off really basically being a championship side to winning the Premier League. But this would be a close second. This would be the second greatest feat, I think, ever. So, I don't think anybody in the chat, nobody in the chat is saying Girona are winning the league. Yeah, I don't see it here. And I don't think anybody in the comments when they watch this on replay are going to say, yeah, Girona. winning La Liga. But you have to give a lot of props because the amount of comeback victories I've seen from them. Osasuna, I think it wasn't Celta. I can't remember which team it was. Might have been Celta at home. Rayo Vallecano over the weekend. They've had back-to-back comeback victories for Girona. Simply sensational. Will they keep this up? No, they're not going to keep this up. But even if they get Champions League football, they might even not be able to play in the Champions League football because you can't have two teams in the competition that have the same owner. So this fairy tale story, we're all going to be like, oh, Champions League football. I think if you're a fifth place team like an Athletic Bilbao, Real Sociedad, or Real Betis, you got to fight tooth and nail to get that fifth place because that will be Champions League football most likely. But it's an unbelievable story no matter what. If they somehow win La Liga, wait, what is Matt saying here? If Girona win the title or maybe even reach Champions League football, Mike needs to do a stream in his sauna. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, well, F it. I'll get some beers and we'll do a stream from there. Would this be better than Leicester City? No, I would still say Leicester is more impressive. Actually, let me know your thoughts, people. What would be more impressive? Leicester City winning the Premier League or Girona winning La Liga? Let me know your thoughts. Yeah, they can't play. No, yeah, I know. They can't play UCL football because of Man City. They cannot. This is Girona's fourth season in the first division. It'll be greater than Leicester, in my opinion. But I think it... See, I don't know, Blue, if it's down to majority shareholder because... It might be, though. But I'm trying to think of Toulouse. Or Toulouse might be like 90% Redbird capital. Yeah. I don't know what it'd be. I actually don't know, Blue. Or would it be okay then? So if Girona make Champions League football, they're allowed to play. Is that the rule? Because I'm actually not too sure. I assume because that City Group have a quite huge majority. Well, not huge majority. I think they have like 40% of Girona, if I'm not mistaken, or 37%. You guys are going Girona easily. Wow. Girona, 10,001 odds is bigger than... Well, that is true, as I hear, but kind of context. Because a lot of these, Girona players, and rightly so, they use their system well, and they use the City connection very well. Like, look at Yangel Herrera. The guy has been a Man City player since 2015, if I'm not mistaken. I think somebody said here, who's the standout player for Girona? I think it's either Dovbik, who's been unbelievable since signing from Dnipro 1, or Alex Garcia in the midfield. Because that Alex Garcia in the midfield, baller. Absolute baller of a player. But let me get to now Father Alvaro's kind donation of 2 Canadian, oh Canada. Shout out to all my Canadian guys because we're both freezing our asses off right now. Right now. Save this dub, Mike. Atleti are winning.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Where's my other video?
That is blasphemous.
Now, Father Alvaro, if you win the treble, I will go bald. Because that would mean Simeone has a Champions League. Woo! And that will shut up everybody. But okay, Father Alvaro, I got this. What day is it today? What's the date today? 13th of November, 2023 at 10:35 finish time. Father Alvaro said, save this dub. We're going to save it, and we'll see if you win any trophies. Like, I hope, please, I hope Atleti win a Champions League because we need new winners of the Champions League. I think that would be sensational. But Griezmann just needs to win a La Liga title because Griezmann has never won a La Liga title. Can you imagine that, people? Griezmann has never won a La Liga title. Same as Marco Reus. Big up Ibrahim says, didn't Alex Garcia used to play for Man City? Yep. Yes, he did. All right, people. So let's get to the last league. And everybody wants to talk about this league because everybody talks about it. All of YouTube. We got to start at the bottom because there is some garbage team. And I mean, when I'm talking about garbage, I am talking garbage. How many likes are we on, people? We got 44 of you watching. We got 44 likes. Big up to you. Let's get up to 50 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Shout out to Smash for becoming a member. Shout out to Misha for being a member of 17 months. And shout out Father Alvaro for the kind donation. Yeah, these 3 newly promoted teams are terrible. Wait, who's a curse? Who's a curse, guys? Who's a curse? Father Alvaro or Simeone? Or Alex Garcia? Who's a curse, guys? Let me know. Yeah, these three newly promoted teams are garbage. I'm sorry. I would love to see Burnley stay up because I really rate Vincent Company, but look at that goal difference. Minus 21. Minus 21. Look at Sheffield United. Minus 21. Luton are respectable. And even Luton got a draw against Liverpool. I saw a lot of people. You guys know, if you've been following me for a lot, this is not a Liverpool channel. We only talked a lot about Liverpool last season because they were terrible. And rightfully so, because they were garbage and got smacked all the time. That draw against Luton, if it wasn't for Nunes, Liverpool would have won that game. It was all down to Nunes. And then, other players not showing up. But Luton are not a good team. Watched their highlights against Man United, and I fell asleep after a minute because that game was boring as heck, even from the highlights. So does anybody give these newly promoted teams any chance? Like any chance here? I don't see a lot of shouts in the chat. And I don't think we're going to get a lot of shouts in the comments down below because these newly promoted teams are finding life. Griezmann is cursed when to Barca didn't win the... okay, gotcha. He's cursed, gotcha. But yeah, I don't... Maybe Luton, with just the energy from their home stadium, because it's so fantastic of a stadium, can maybe get some results. But I think for Burnley, Company is finding it out the hard way. You can play this wonderful style of football in the Championship, but when you don't have the quality, you have to adjust as a manager. And Vincent Company hasn't done it, and he is facing big problems here. And yeah, Bournemouth picked up a big victory against Newcastle, which is shocking to me, which is their second win of the season, But they're not a good team either. Fulham are horrendous in front of goal. Nottingham Forest are a hot and cold team, good at home, can be dangerous away from home. And Everton are actually going to survive this season. At this point already, Everton have an 8-point lead ahead of Luton Town. They said, give us the points deduction because we realized that the newly promoted teams are just hot garbage. And that's no disrespect to the newly promoted teams, but they're not good enough. They're not. It's plain. If you want to be in the Premier League, you have to get the harsh reality of, you have to show some purpose. And you have to show, okay, we're going to have to grind out results here. Sheffield United, you're 1-1 with Man City. Hold on to the draw. Nope, you concede to Rodri. Burnley, you get 1-1 with Arsenal. What do you do a couple minutes later? Concede a goal. You cannot do that if you're newly promoted teams, and they're all going to go down. Does anybody give them a shout? People are saying here that I think Company is going to get sacked. Marcos Silva should be on the hot seat just for signing Alex Iwobi. He probably should be, to be honest. He actually should be. So I think all of those teams are fine. Crystal Palace are fine. Shout out to Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill and Wolves. They play football, man. They play football. You see that Sarabia goal? Quality goal, man. Quality goal from Sarabia. And we'll get to Tottenham because I know I've seen so like I'm so glad I don't do a Premier League channel. I can't lie, people, because I see then all of this shout that, oh my God, Ange fraud, Tottenham fraud. We have played 12 games. They have all the injuries. That's why I wasn't saying United, oh, these guys are going to be hot garbage this season, because I said, let's give it time with the injuries. Same thing with Chelsea. But yeah, Everton are cooking, man. They're playing decent. Sean Dyche, man, does it again. Wolves are doing good. Brentford, tough team. Always a tough team. I think what Brentford just needs to do is, all right, Ivan Toney, you're out in January. Been great. It's going to be intriguing, though. Who do Brentford go for? Could Brentford be going for Guirassy? You heard it here first. Could Brentford be going for... Although I don't really think he sort of fits that profile for Brentford, because Brentford like that more unknown quantity sort of player, like with the Said Ben Rama, with the Mbuemo and these sort of guys. So maybe they'll go for somebody a little bit more under the radar, even though Guirassy would probably cost like 15 million. But I think that would be a shout for Brentford. Maybe. I don't know who else it could be. Now, Chelsea are 10th. They played great. They played great against Man City, but they got the draw. That's why I said it on another channel. I said, okay, you played amazing football. You should have beat them, but you didn't, and you got the draw. I just like Chelsea have they have such good individual talent. The one thing is, and I don't, if anybody calls me salty because these guys didn't join Liverpool, I'm really sorry. Like, this is not some, oh man, I'm sad because they didn't join. It's football at the end of the day. But we have to criticize Enzo and Caicedo. They need to show up because Conor Gallagher, yes, Conor, who I thought didn't have any footballing ability, Gallagher, has been their best midfielder. Conor Gallagher was unbelievable on Sunday, yesterday. It was unbelievable. The pressing, he's not great on the ball, right? He's not the greatest on the ball. But I just really like Conor Gallagher. You just need those sort of players who are just going to do everything for the team. Really reminds me of Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. We know Jordan Henderson. Okay, he's got some long range shots in him, decent passing, the no look back post cross, which has never worked out. But Conor Gallagher is a very unselfish player, and you need those sort of guys in your team if you want to progress as a team. Now, you need Enzo and you need Caicedo. Please rise to the stand. Please rise. You guys know I love Enzo. I talked about him at River Plate. I talked about him at Benfica. I said Enzo is a baller. Okay, he's coming back from injury, but we need to see more from Enzo. I just need to see a bit more from Caicedo. But they're young. They're going to go through their growing pains. They're going to suffer some poor performances. It's just about how do you respond? Because what I see from Enzo in Argentina, completely different player. And people could tell me international football is slow. Go watch CONMEBOL football. Point proven. But the biggest problem for Chelsea is they got to, they showed mentality, but they need to bring that mentality against the lower teams in the Premier League. We can all get up for the big game. Yo, the big game. Yes. Adrenaline running through the veins. You got veins popping through your head. You're like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And the Hollywood theme music comes on. You're like, we got this. And then you play Brentford on midday kickoff. And then you don't show up. That's the big problem here. Need to be more consistent with these performances. And then I think Nkunku is coming back after the international break. Just start him ahead of Jackson. I know Jackson has got 4. It's crazy. Jackson has 4 goals in his last 2 games, but I'm not really impressed by him. I actually think Jackson is going to be really good out wide, not down the middle. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion, just watching him at Villarreal as well. So let's see. Like, Chelsea are a very intriguing team because there is still expectation for them. Like, you don't spend $1 billion and say, F it. No. When you spend $1 billion in football, like the Clippers right now in the NBA, they just got James Harden with Westbrook, with Paul George, and with Kawhi Leonard, and they've lost 5 games in a row. There's expectation on the Clippers to make it to an NBA Finals or Western Conference Finals, but they're stinking up the place and getting rightly ridiculed. And the same thing will happen to Chelsea if they don't perform. Doesn't matter if they're trying to be under 25s World Cup champions. Who cares? Can you please just perform as a team and get better? I think Chelsea can, but they need patience. West Ham are also another team that's so inconsistent with David Moyes. I think David Moyes' contract ends up this season, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. I just really rate Kudus, man. I think Kudus is a baller. Lucas Paqueta is Samba football. So let's see. West Ham, I think the goal for them is, all right, stay a top 10 team, maybe get seventh place this year and progress far in the Europa League. I think that's the goal for West Ham. And then I think they're going to go in a new direction away from Moyes. If they keep Moyes, I think they'll just keep regressing. Because with the players they have, they need to be playing a lot better football. That's just my opinion. Brighton. Oh boy. The hipster team are now fading away. The heck has happened to them? When was the last time they won a game in the Premier League? Huh? Was that the last one they had in the Premier League? 24th of September. That's almost 2 months. I didn't know it was that bad. Hey, deserve me. I know they got a lot of injuries. Like Estupinian, I think came on in the Europa League against Ajax. He played for 12 minutes and got injured, which was the same injury. Are we worried with Brighton here? Now, Brighton are a fascinating because they're finding it hard. Their schedule has been very difficult, even though, the Sheffield United game, they should be winning that. Brighton are a good team facing a lot of injuries. So it's about De Zerbi. How do you balance it? How do you get the best of both worlds? It's tough, man. This is like where your managerial skills and you progressing as a manager, we'll see how it goes. I think he did try and tweak it a little bit over the weekend. I did see him play like a 3 in the back formation against Sheffield United. They only managed to get a draw, even though I think they got the red card. Can't remember which minute it was. Straight red card for Dahoud. I don't think he's overhyped, Terry. I don't think De Zerbi is overhyped, but this is like you're gonna go through these pains of, you're not gonna get a result in the Premier League, but then you're gonna perform well in the Europa League. That's why I think Brighton can go far in the Europa League because maybe De Zerbi's like, you know what, we did so well in the Premier League last season. Let's just go all out in the Europa League. Yeah, Blue, I agree. I think he's rotating too much, but maybe he has to because I don't think his team are prepared for this. In all honesty, I don't think his team are well prepared for managing both European football and league football. I still think they're a really good team. They just need to get some injured players back, especially Estupinian. I think is the key player. Estupinian, we know is a baller, absolute baller of a player. But happy for Ansu Fati. I think he's been performing quite decently. Same thing with Newcastle. Like, okay, their fans can play to Trippier. Then what happens? Trippier is like, do you see the injuries? Do you see the injuries? And I agree. Do you see the injuries? Like Isak, Sven Botman. How many more? I think Almiron came off injured as well, and they had to play Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie. What is this, 2016 Bournemouth? Come on. Let's get to the times here. Let's get some new players in. But no, they can't because they have all these injuries. So they're also fine. See, you see these teams that haven't played European football. Okay, Newcastle, first time in 22 years, 21 years. Brighton, first time ever. They're finding it very difficult with the amount of games now that there is in football, and that's because of money. So if players want less money, then there's going to be less games. Yeah, Solly March is a big miss as well, Yorks. You're correct. He's out for quite a while, if I'm not mistaken. He got a pretty long-term injury. So Newcastle, I think they're just facing the same dilemma. They look good. I think they're going to be a very good home team. But it's about, okay, can you bring that style of football they play at home away from home? I think that's going to be a key issue. But Newcastle got a tough schedule coming up, and they got some big games. Oh, that. Chelsea at home. They got a massive clash against PSG away. Man United at home. Everton away. Spurs away. Milan at home. Anything more? Oh, man. Newcastle better get their act together. After I just saw that schedule, they got to get their act together because that did not look pretty. That did not look pretty one bit for Newcastle. But I think in the long run, they're going to be fine. They're only 6 points. See, this is like, I'm not saying, oh my God, no chance of winning Champions League football, but it's just how do they manage with the very tough schedule? Because now the games are going to come like this. Soon it's going to be Boxing Day, New Year's, then you got FA Cup third round, boom, boom, boom. How does Eddie Howe and the club manage it? Maybe they'll go splash more in the January transfer window on some backups. Possibly, especially I think where they need backups or they need a starter is in the midfield because Tonali is an idiot. And then in the forward line, maybe somewhere around there. Now let's go to Man United. They're 5 points behind Tottenham, which is not bad. And actually, they're the most informed team, if I'm not mistaken, reading somewhere. Yeah, they're more informed than Liverpool. maybe Ten Hag is actually doing a decent job. No, but in all honesty, the performances have not been good from United, but they're getting results. And at the end, that is crazy though. They got -3 goal difference and they're 6th place. Jesus. It is not okay. The style of football from Man United is not really great, but it's just effective. Now, the game against FC Copenhagen, we already talked about in the UCL review. I wouldn't be so worried if I was a Man United fan because what are you going to do in the Champions League? Are you going to win it? Maybe you can. It's the knockout competition, but you just see your form and your play. You're just like, okay, it's not sustainable. I think for Man United, they got to just find some sort of style of play, and some of their players need to step up. How are we living in a world where still Maguire is actually performing good? You know, Fernandes doing his role here and there, McTominay starting, Johnny Evans starting. I think the bright spot for United is there hasn't been much Onana talk. Like, I'm not even going to blame Onana for any of the goals against FC Copenhagen. Even the one where Dalot was sleeping in the back post, I think it was the third goal, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to blame that on Onana. But soon their schedule gets tough. Now, that's where I would be worried. Because when they face the top teams, oh boy. So it's got Everton away, Galatasaray away, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, Bournemouth at home they should beat. Bayern at home could be a second team for Bayern, and then Liverpool away 17th of December. That's not an easy schedule for United. So if after those games they can be like still 4 or 5 points behind fourth place, because I think they can most likely they'll pick up like 2 losses in that streak. But it just needs to be a lot better for United. It needs to. I think they just need to get into that December month and say, okay, we got some players back. Now let's play a lot better and let's be more convincing to build confidence. I think that's the main thing for this team. You just see it on the pitch. It's just, there's not a lot of confidence with this team. Not a lot of confidence. They're still having a good season. It's not been great. It's not been awesome because they're out of the League Cup. Champions League is not looking great for them. But even though they've been heavily criticized, and I mean heavily criticized, Ten Hag has been heavily criticized. They're 5 points behind Spurs, who have gotten a lot of praise this season. Now, a team that not a lot of people are talking about, Aston Villa and Unai Emery. Maybe because they're doing their business. Okay, away from home, they're not as dominant because they lost to Nottingham Forest. Who did they draw to? I can't remember. I remember they lost 6-1. They've lost 3-1 3-0 to Liverpool. 1-1 with Wolves, which is actually not the worst result considering how good Wolves are at home. Aston Villa are cooking. Ollie Watkins is cooking. Diaby is cooking. Dougie Luiz is cooking. This team are cooking a meal from Unai Emery. And it's beautiful to watch their football. Really is. Gotta give a lot of praise to Unai Emery, the job he has done, and these players deserve a lot because Aston Villa, when they hired Unai Emery, were in the relegation zone or near around there. And the job he has done since then, and they've won now, 13 home games in a row. 13. He has built Villa Park into an absolute fortress. And nobody can break it down. Nobody. So how long is this going to last? Who knows? But they're playing some fascinating and scintillating football, and long may it continue because somehow Unai Emery gets Aston Villa into top 4. That would be awesome. But we always see this every season. A team starts off hot, but when they have to balance many competitions, do they have the squad to do it? But one manager I would trust is Unai Emery because he's done it over and over and over and over again. So now can he do it with Aston Villa? The main goal, I think, for Aston Villa is win the Conference League. You have to win a trophy. I cannot remember the last time Aston Villa won a trophy. I'm not counting championship trophy or championship playoff. No. When did you win the FA Cup? When did you win the League Cup? And when was last they won the European Cup? Was it the 80s? Yeah, I think it was the 80s. That's going to be the main goal. But yeah, Aston Villa are having an unbelievable season. And any team that goes to Villa Park is holding an L right now. That's a guaranteed fact. They're holding an L. Then we have the 2 North London teams in Arsenal and Tottenham. So I want to hear from everybody in the chat and then in the comments down below if you're watching a replay. Remember, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Is Ange Postecoglou just a phony? Do we never rate him actually? Because the rhetoric that I've been seeing lately from a lot of people is, oh, this guy was never good. They've been lucky in their last this whole season. So when you lose, okay, now Udogi and Romero got rightly sent off because they were bonehead red cards. Van de Ven is injured and James Maddison is injured. The only critique I would have on Ange is that crazy high line he did against Chelsea and then starting Højbjerg. I think he needed a bit more of a creator there, someone like Lo Celso. You have the two good DMs, 8s in Bissouma and Sar. Just play Lo Celso in the 10. Don't play Højbjerg. Okay, Højbjerg is decent. He's not that great. So I think that's where Ange... It sucks, man. It sucks because I really like Ange Postecoglou. And then, you know, people say, "Oh, mate." That's just crazy to me. Like the guy, we saw for so many years Spurs try with these winning managers and Mourinho and Conte, and the football was diabolical. Now we're seeing Spurs play some scintillating football. Maddison cooking, Van de Ven cooking, Son is scoring goals. Bissouma, Sar, excellent in the midfield. But this is what happens when you come to the toughest league in the world for Ange. Even going away to Wolves, who have had, good start to this season. It doesn't matter if you're leading into the 90th minute. You have to play the whole game at a crazy intensity. And they didn't play well in that match. So I think now for Spurs, it gets tough. This is where we're going to see the real mental test of the Spurs team. Because look at their next 3 games, people. 4 games, excuse me. Actually, 3 of them are at home, luckily for them. Aston Villa, Tottenham, West Ham, Aston Villa, Man City, West Ham, Newcastle. That's a tough road, man. That is a tough set of games. Even Aston Villa at home, I think Villa can win that game. Man City away, I don't think they're getting a result. If I'm going to be honest, I don't think they get a result. West Ham, London rivalry, they should be winning that game. And then Newcastle at home, depends on how many injuries both teams have. And of course, Romero will be back and Udogi will be back. Actually, it was 2 yellows, so he'll be back for Aston Villa. That's at least a positive. Yeah, I agree. Blue. Big up to Talk says, Ange needs a year, in my opinion, needs a better squad depth. Get rid of Deadwood after this season ends. Exactly. Get rid of the Ben Davies, the Eric Dyers, the Højbjergs, the Emerson Royals. Get some quality players for Ange, and he will cook. Get him some J-League player. Get him somebody from there. You will see the best of Ange Postecoglou. You will see the best of him. All right. Arsenal. I actually don't have a lot to say about Arsenal because I see a lot of people criticize them that they haven't been playing really great attacking football, but they've conceded 10 goals this season. Saliba is a rock. Gabriel is a rock. I think David Raya is now getting some more confidence in his play. And yeah, look, Arsenal, I don't really have a lot to say. I think they just need consistent goal scorers. I think Trossard, until Gabriel Jesus gets healthy, Trossard is the answer in the number 9 role. Not Eddie Nketiah. No. Trossard is that guy. So I think for Arsenal, they're kind of not really, I wouldn't say going under the radar, but they're just performing. And I think after that, controversial loss to Newcastle, even though, people could say it's a goal or not a goal, I'm not even going to discuss about it. I think Arsenal should be positive. They haven't played, I would say, their best football, but I still think they have a really good chance of winning the Premier League. It's not about how you start. It's not about who plays the best football. It's about it's just about the mental battle. Do the Arsenal players, after what happened last season, can they get over it? Especially with Saliba being healthy. That is the key thing. If Saliba is healthy, then massive respect to them. Then I think they can challenge for the title. Saliba is just that guy. If he gets injured, boy. You see, when Ødegaard is injured, they're still doing well. Now, I know Kai Havertz, okay, still not great enough, if I'm going to be honest. Like, imagine if Arsenal got Gravenberch or Soboslai or a Barella or like one of these players, right? Just putting it out there. This Arsenal team would be scary. They would be. But I think they're just missing that one missing piece in the 8 role. When they can figure that out, maybe they do in the January transfer window. Let's see. But yeah, Blue. Pick up to AK. Mike, it's Arsenal. Enough said. AK, respect them, bro. Respect them. Respect them. Big up Alexander says, we should give them a bit of respect. 100%. Big up Toxic says, do you think Arsenal are not creating enough chances or not finishing enough chances? I don't see a lot of chances created from this Arsenal team. And I think that's what Arteta wants. I think he just wants to just slow down the game. Just maintain possession, rotate it. I haven't watched every Arsenal game. I've only really watched the big games this season. So I'm judging it on Chelsea away, Newcastle away, Man City home. Those are the games I've watched. Man United at home. Where I'm like, okay, they're not really creating a lot of chances. But also, they're not giving up a lot of chances either, people. They're not. And I think that's how Arteta wants it. We just need 3 or 4 chances to get the goal, but limit the other team to 1 or 2, and we just get a 1-0 victory, and we go home. I think that's how Arteta wants to do now the big games. He doesn't now want to go toe for toe, blow for blow, uppercut. I think he just now easy. I think so, Blue. Exactly. Do they have the mental strength? Yeah, maybe they do. I agree with you, Mike. One signing would make them scary. Yep, I agree. I agree with that. All right, now the last 2 teams. Liverpool are in second and Manchester City are first. And guess who's playing against each other, people, in the next match day? Oh, why do we play this team on a freaking 12:30 kickoff? Oh, 2:30 kickoff. Why? So, what is the biggest question mark you have for either team, people? Let me know in the chat, and if you're watching on replay. I'm you guys know I'm a Liverpool fan, but I look at Liverpool defensively and they just give up so many chances where I'm like, okay, yeah, people can tell me, Michael, Liverpool have conceded 10 or 11 goals. I can't remember exactly the number. Is it 11 goals or 10 goals? 10 goals. Wow, that is crazy. For the amount of chances that Liverpool give, to only concede 10 goals is actually wild. But Van Dijk, I might be coming out with a video, by the way. It's going to be titled The Resurgence of Van Dijk, because what I've seen from VVD this season, I'm not saying he's not going to reach that prime Van Dijk where I'm like, hey, we got him in defense, everything is good. But the level I've seen from Van Dijk, it's unbelievable. So I might have to make a video called The Resurgence of Van Dijk. And I'm going to clip up a lot of channels that were making fun of Van Dijk last season. You'll see. I might have to make something like that during the international break. I think the key, though, for Liverpool is that they give up a lot of chances. It's just about limiting the other team to, okay, you give them one big chance like an Mbeumo in the first half against Liverpool over the weekend. That's what you got to do. Don't give teams a hope. But Liverpool are just when the attacking options they have with Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, Nunes, and of course, Mohamed Salah. Liverpool's attack is scary. Midfield is also scary with the technical ballers. It's just about how do Liverpool find that balance between the midfield and defense. It's still way too easy to play against this team. Once that is sorted out, then I'm like, you know what, Liverpool can be title contenders. That's when I can say. I still think Liverpool can be title contenders, but do I believe they can win it? Nope. I still would put Arsenal above Liverpool. That's just my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. We can all have different opinions, people. It's not a crime, right? I don't need to go to The Hague for having this crime. Okay? I just think Arsenal, because you look at how much more solid they are defensively, they don't give up a lot of big chances. And this is the problem, though. Big up LFC Aaron, big up to everybody in the chat. Remember to hit the like button. Michael, is Mac at the 10 a failed experiment? I just don't think he has the legs for the position, if I'm going to be honest. You just see him, he's sort of slow to react, where with some DMs, like Rodri, the guy immediately reads, all right, team's counter-attacking against us, he reads the situation. I think for McAllister, because he's so used to playing in that left-sided or right-sided of the midfield, that he's a bit more closer to the touchline. Now, the guy just looks like, he's like a traffic light. He just looks like, while the players go by, he's like, oh, damn. All right, let me just stick out a leg. Like you saw the goal for Luton, where he tried to chase back and get Tahith Chong. He just doesn't have. amazing technical baller. I love McAllister. I've been watching him since Argentino Juniors. I have the freaking jersey of Argentino Juniors. It's not McAllister's, but I have their jersey. He's a baller, but he's being misprofiled right now. And that's my biggest issue. But other than that, Liverpool are a very dangerous team. It's just defensively, if they can limit their chances, then Liverpool can challenge for the title. We'll find out. I don't think we could read a lot into the Man City performance yesterday. I'll get to your super chat soon, Father Alvaro. I don't think you can read a lot into Man City yesterday because they're still a great team. They just had, that might have been Ruben Diaz's worst game ever. He was horrendous. Yet the amount of mistakes that Ruben Diaz was making, I was like, is that Ruben Diaz? Surely not. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was Kyrgiakos. I thought it was Kyrgiakos, and that he somehow turned into Portuguese, and I was like, that's not Kyrgiakos, because defensively, Man City were all over the place. And the pressing that Chelsea did on them, I think that really was like, Man City weren't prepared for it. They kind of took Man City by surprise, but they just have so many goddamn good footballers that even when they're facing adversity, their players rise to the occasion. And that's the one thing you really got to give props to Man City is, okay, don't play your best game, but they still had a 3-2 lead, and they still had a 4-3 lead. They should have won the game. Did they deserve it? No. I wouldn't say they deserved it, but they got the draw, and still, they are still the best team in the world, hands down. There's no doubt about it. They are the best team in the world. And look, even Gavardo, he was bad yesterday. He made that mistake for the second goal for Sterling. I still think Man City are going to be very fine in the long run. They're a great team, but can Liverpool cause them problems? Because now it goes to first versus second. Now, this is no title decider or any of this crap. I know I can already predict what all the videos are going to say next week. Maybe I'll do a preview for the game because it's actually a pretty big game, but I already know title decider. It's not a title decider. Look at Arsenal. Even Spurs are 2 points behind Man City. Everybody's still in the race. But Man City got a tough schedule coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Eesh. Actually, these next 4 games are not the easiest for Man City. I would still be expecting them, although Aston Villa away might be their toughest game, and Liverpool at home. Leipzig at home, they're going to destroy them 4-0. We saw what happened last year, 7-0. Tottenham at home, now with this depleted team, I expect Man City to win that 3-0, 3-1. It's that Liverpool at home and Aston Villa away. Tough games from Man City. So let me know your thoughts, people. Are you kind of maybe worried about Man City from yesterday's performance? Are you a bit worried about Ruben Diaz and Guevardo and this sort of stuff? Or do you just say one-off game and they will bounce back against Liverpool? Because that game is going to be so intense. We're going to probably do like a live match reaction after the game for the Man City Liverpool, but I'm not doing a watch along because I just cannot do any more Liverpool watch alongs. I probably will get demonetized the video. So let me know your thoughts, people. Worried about Man City, or is it just like, they're still a great team no matter what? But big up to Father Alvaro, who has sent in a couple super chats. Thank you very much, Father Alvaro, for your kind donations, buddy. He says, man is not calling him M. Barbie. Says, M. Barbie not good enough to appear on a mic video. Oh, you want me to talk about Ligue 1 PSG? Well, I can quickly run through it if you guys want me to. I'll probably stay for another 5 or 10 minutes. And big up to Father Alvaro for sending another Canadian. Oh, Canada, our home and native land. I think that's how it goes. I've been to Canada in a while, man. Although it's pretty much similar to here in Finland. Goddamn freaking cold. So people want to say, where is Mbappe in the stream? Well, maybe I could do like another video. Although, guys, see, this is like, if you're new around here, I just talk about anything of football because I don't like doing Premier League only or La Liga only or international football. There is so much to talk about when you're talking about the worldwide of football. You guys even saw I did a live stream watch along for the Copa Libertadores. That I might have to just do another video on, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th best league in Europe in the Eredivisie, because I think you guys actually. Yeah, let me just quickly do it. Because you need to see what PSV are doing this season. Ready? You want to see what PSV are doing? 12 for 10. 12 for 12. 12 for 12, by the way. PSV. It's impressive. And Ajax are expected scrolls about 3. Yeah, they're about expected scrolls 3. Yeah, PSV have been amazing this season. Now, quickly on Ligue 1, because I know you guys wanted to see this all. Shout out to Nice. Look at how many goals Nice have conceded, by the way. They're managed by a new Italian manager who just arrived from Turkey this season. He is going prime Calciopoli. I love it. Absolute 4 goals conceded in 12 games is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, this PSG. And then the last league I'll quickly show you guys before heading out is Liga Portugal, because it's always one of my favorite leagues across Europe. And Benfica beat Sporting in the Lisboa derby yesterday in the 96th minute. They scored the equalizer in the 90th minute, and then Benfica won the game in the 96th. Interesting league. Yep, Lyon finally won a game as well, for remind. Yep, so a lot of entertaining leagues. See, this is why people, okay, if you can't watch the games in the Eredivisie, Ligue 1, or Liga Portugal, just trust me, people. Just keep up with them. They're highly entertaining. Look at what the hell's going on in Brazil right now. Have you guys, mods, if you don't know what's going on in the Brasileiro, can somebody drop it in the chat right now, my video that I did on the Brazilian title race? You guys go check it out, because this might be one of the biggest bottle jobs I have ever seen. You know, we can all make fun of Arsenal bottling it and Dortmund bottling it. What is going on right now in Brazil might be the worst I have ever seen. I mean, ever seen. So if one of the mods can quickly drop that, then I will head out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. Big up to you all. Mike, we keep Downing City and then they prove everyone wrong. Maybe we should just... Luis, well, that's why I said I am not going to say anything bad about Man City, because there's nothing bad to say. They're the best team in the world. Why would I be so negative about them? Okay, yeah, you conceded 4 goals, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you got to give praise to Chelsea. Chelsea played well. Man City didn't, but yet Man City still come away with a draw. They got to perform a lot better, though, against Liverpool. I'll have to say that right now. But everybody, it's been a fascinating stream. Big up to Matt. Guys, go check out this video I did on the Brazilian title race while I head out of here. Big up, YG. I'm just heading out right now, buddy. Big up, bro. But everybody, remember to go check out the shorts on the channel. I'm trying now to do a shorts every day. Now for the next couple of days, probably going to be a lot of international football content. I know if you guys don't like it, understandable. But just keep supporting the channel. Just keep hitting the like button on the videos. That's all I ask for. Just keep hitting the like button for the videos. And then also, I'm probably going to be making a video about Van Dijk and the resurgence. And probably a lot of people are going to be clipped up from last season, which is going to be fun to make. But everybody, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Remember to hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And if you guys are just joining, I'll drop the timestamps so you can see where I discuss each league. Adios, everybody, and peace.